PhD graduate, graduate student, and so what I'm working on is currently on like bioelectronic devices, and majorly the part that I am focused on is the conjugated polymer coating. So what we are working on essentially is, as you know, like the tissues and cells in our body, they are primarily ionically conducting, and whereas the devices that we have in the market, which are made of semiconductors or metals, they are like electronically conducting. So there's essentially a communication gap between the electronically conducting devices and the ionically conducting body tissues. So the conducting polymers that we are developing essentially can talk both the languages, just to oversimplify it, as in they can do they can conduct electronically as well as ionically. So that makes them great candidates to be used as interfacing materials in these types of devices. So we majorly grow these conductor polymer films using electrodeposition method. So my my PhD project involves around studying the nucleation and growth of these conjugated polymer films using like like operando or in situ electron microscopy, which is again like a very very fundamental study, and then trying to really understand
when you're planning to graduate.
Like actually my plan was this summer, but I don't know like if I would want to graduate right now or like after a few months or something like that.
No, what I'm asking you, do you have a graduation deadline, or you can extend it to another 6 months or 1 year? That's what I was asking.
I'm not sure if it's a year, but maybe 6 months I think I can. Like I there's no deadline as of yet, but then my advisor is starting to talk about graduation and everything.
Yeah, but did you, when he talks about graduation and all, does he also talk about that, what you want to do after that, or do you have a job or not?
No, not yet. We have not had the discussion yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ideally, I think you will be graduating around this summer, but you're saying you can extend it for 6 months. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. So
Okay.
so yeah, I mean, right now, I was thinking about like August, something like that. July, August is what I had in mind before all the corona and everything happened. But then probably right now I'm looking at like early next year or like end of this year, something like that. So 4 or 5 months I was planning to extend. I mean, considering I don't get the next step or next position, whatever, because the industries, they were responding earlier, like I had a few interviews and everything, but then all of this just stopped. They're like, sorry, we are entered the corona phase, so we cannot.
Do you know what companies, if I have to ask you, forget about corona, but if I had to ask you a couple of companies, if you can name them, those who are the one which like you would like to work
so
with?
like my top priority initially was like companies like Dow, DuPont, Poly1. I don't know if you heard of Poly1.
Yeah, I have heard.
So those types of like chemicals, plastics manufacturing companies.
They have a headquarter in Cleveland.
Right. So like initially we had some campus interviews and everything, but then like it didn't go through.
Do you know,
And I also interviewed with a few startups as well. So. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was waiting for train to pass by. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I was asking you is, there is a company near Wilmington called Chemours. Did you look at there too? Chemours.
Chemours, yes, I did, but they were like, currently we are not in a position. Like I talked with them.
Okay.
This January, they are like, we are not in a position to hire international candidates. They said that bluntly. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And you need a visa and all that, right? You have to go through that.
Yeah. Right. So I'm on a F1 visa, so like I'll be going to like OPT and then those kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I'm looking at some of your questions. So you had a very good idea when you were joining that you will go for industry, not for a postdoc.
Yeah. So when I like within I would say, yeah, 2 to 3 years, like, I mean, I was enjoying the fundamental stuff, no doubt, but then, like, I had this thing of, like, I want to see whatever, like, PhD work is a lot of time, lot of energy. So I was like, I want to see my work get applied soon.
Okay.
That way,
That's
like,
fine. No,
making
I was
yeah, that,
thinking
that
from career perspective, do you look yourself like you want to go to more academics or industry? That's what I was.
no, not at all. No, no, no. Even if I was like going towards, I mean, going for a postdoc or something, I would, head towards like working in a national lab sort of thing, not a professor. Yeah.
Not with a professor.
Yeah. Like going as a scientist, research scientist in a
Okay.
national lab or
Uh,
something like that.
okay.
So I'd be doing that. Yeah, not a professor. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So but primarily, yeah, my idea is to work in the industry.
Okay. But let me ask you, and I just want to pull more information so that I can give you better advice. You know the situation right now with coronavirus and all that, right?
Yes.
Let's say
Yeah.
let's say if you don't find a job, what's your plan?
I
What
think you just broke a little bit. Can you?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you know the situation with coronavirus, right? So
Right.
what I want to ask you, what do
Mm-hmm.
you think if you don't find a job? What is your plan?
So with
Like a
the
job in industry.
conferences,
So what's the plan?
like with the like I've attended a lot of conferences during my PhD. So then, like, I did talk with a few professors in a few universities, and then, like, at least until last year, they were like sort of interested, because like when they heard my talk and everything in the conferences, they were at least like to the first stage, they were sort of interested in hiring me as a postdoc.
Hmm.
I talked with them, like gave my presentation.
Okay.
They gave their
Okay.
presentation as well, like,
Okay.
yeah,
So you
those sort of things.
so
So
that
then
that was the option that you are looking if it doesn't work.
that I was like,
Okay.
right, yeah.
Okay.
That
Got it.
that was my backup. But then the issue was like, I don't know if you read my email completely. So the
No.
issue was that, like, in the OPT, you just get 3 attempts to file an H1, right? So
Yeah,
then,
I have an answer for that. That don't worry about that. So
okay,
let me give you answer
so
for that actually. So if you work for a postdoc with a professor,
okay,
you get H1 visa. You are on H1
but
visa. So let me tell you, there are two types of
mhm,
H1 visa.
okay,
The industry H1 visa is different than the university H1 visa.
okay,
The university H1 visa or the H1 visa that you get at National Lab is
hmm,
you can apply at any time and you can live with it as long as you want.
okay,
It has nothing to do with the cap and all that. That's totally separate.
right.
Okay.
But then the professor or the university has to agree
Though
to do
everybody
that.
does that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I have done that.
Okay.
When I finished my PhD from Maryland, I did postdoc at Johns Hopkins. I was on H1 visa.
That's cool, yeah. Because the friends that, yeah, I was talking to, they are, whoever is doing a postdoc, they are still on like F1 OPT right
Uh,
now.
no. There is certain reasons to do that. Why people choose to do that? That's a separate question.
Okay.
Sometimes people choose to do that for certain reasons. Some people do it for tax purposes. Some people do it, oh, let me exhaust my OPT. There are many reasons to do that. But
Okay.
you, as I said, whenever you apply, you can always get a H1 visa. Everybody does that. Everybody, don't worry about that.
Okay.
The only problem
Then,
comes is let's say if you get an H1 visa and the professor says, "Oh, I have a 2 years of funding," then you can't go on OPT, right? So
oh,
then you
okay,
have to.
yeah, that's
So
true.
from that point, you have to find a job then as soon as possible. But as I said, I have been to that board, and many of my friends had to be in that board. That usually works out. Most of the time, what happens is it depends on what the situation is. Like I got my green card when I was at Oak Ridge. So what I'm saying, you can utilize that time by applying for a green card. So let's say, for example, um, I had a talk with another guy who did his PhD from Carnegie Mellon. He and and I knew him from there for sort of some of the work that he was doing, and
Yeah.
yeah, and he is a postdoc at MIT right now. And he asked me, can
Okay.
I write a recommendation letter from him? He was applying for green card. So what I'm saying, people utilize their postdoc time to get a green card, and that's a very good thing. I think that is one of the best thing if you want to stay in this country. Because
Okay.
trust me, if you are on an H1, you will be the sword is always hanging in on your head. Oh, what happens if I go?
Yeah.
So you have to get a green card one point or other. The good thing happens if you are in a university, not so much in the university, but definitely at the national lab, you get your green card pretty easily.
Oh, I see.
I got mine, and many of my friends were in the same thing. Who were postdocs at Oak Ridge. They got their green card from anywhere from 4 months to 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is what I'm saying is that's what I written in my post in LinkedIn, right? That I personally think right now. So I'm talking about what happens right now, right? Based on the situation right now, I am not sure if you can find a job in industry. So that's the reason I ask you. So what is the next best thing? Next best thing is find a place where you can do a postdoc. Make sure you go to a better place. So if you are at University of Delaware, I would say go to Texas Austin or go to Urbana Champaign or go to MIT, go to Stanford. Don't go below that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go there, make sure that you have if you work there for 6 months or so, after 6 months
Right.
go for a green card, and everything goes fine and your citation is good, your application is strong, you can get it in a year or so. I don't know what are the turnout right now, but for PhDs the quota is different, so don't compare with other people who have masters and are applying, because they go through EB2 category. That is that you never get it on that case. So, but EB1 category,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
so EB1, I've heard that you have to like really. I mean, I saw the website, USCIS website and stuff. They
It
did
says
not
it says
have
you
any
have to get a Nobel Prize.
number. Was that?
I
I
said
didn't hear.
they in EB1 they write you have to have a Nobel Prize or Oscar or something like that.
No, yeah, weird. And then I've heard like people say that you have to have like at least 300 to 400 citations and everything
That's
before
true.
you
I
get it.
when I applied, I had 800 citations.
Okay, so yeah, probably that was one of the reasons that
No,
yeah.
no, but what I'm telling you, that is the only way that you can stay in this country much longer. If you are not applying in the EB1 category, forget
Just
you will.
forget about it.
Yes, just forget about it, because trust me, in other cases it's 20 years right now for Indian.
Right, right.
So
Correct. Yeah.
what I'm telling you is, since you have a PhD,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that you need like even 300 or 400, but if you have the more the citation you have, the
The bit.
chances are better. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because the
That makes sense.
if you go to a lawyer, he will tell you the same thing.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
the reason I'm saying, I have been to that process. I have been to that whole process. So you are a PhD student right now. I was a PhD student. I went to a postdoc, then I went to a national lab, then I went to industry, a couple of them, and now I'm here as a. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have to stay in this country, you need a green
Mm-hmm.
card. Otherwise,
Right, right.
otherwise you will not able to utilize, or the companies will not be able to utilize the potential you can provide. So for example, my current job right now and the company I work with, I won't be able to work if I'm not a citizen. I can't.
Oh man.
Do you
Okay.
understand my point? And think of it
Okay.
as a student. I always want to work with this company. I that was my,
Exactly.
but I can't. So I can imagine your situation is the same thing. This is 10 years back. Talking to you, me 10 years back. Put it this way. But my point
Right,
here
right, right.
is, the only way you are able to do that, the
Mm-hmm.
only way you, if you think you are good, and all these people, they need you, trust me, they need you, but the only way
Mm-hmm.
you are able to utilize that, if you are you are best and you have green card or you have citizenship. Without you,
Okay.
you will be probably probably be working with I don't know, someone or doing something. And I have seen a lot of people, because